you can get a pretty significant amount of health back from it. But obviously, you want to hit as many people as you can. All right. Any questions, added commentary on that before we go on to the basic Bruiser combo? Nah, y'all are easy. All right.
Duke, I missed it again. Sorry, what was Wrecking Ball for again?
You can kind of use it as part of your Bruiser combo if you don't have your Shockwave up. So I will go through that in a second. You can also use it defensively. It does give you a lot of fortify. It is a knockdown. You can use it on single targets to disrupt like healers and stuff. It's got a lot of uses, honestly. But it's just a knockdown, another CC ability. Any more questions, comments before we go through the main Bruiser combo? Oh, okay. So this doesn't always work out ideally, but the main Bruiser combo that you're going to want to do is going to be a Gravwell into a Shockwave into a Maelstrom. Now, if you have your Detonate rune, we can work that in, and I also like to work in a light attack usually before the Maelstrom. So it'll end up looking something like Gravwell, Shockwave, Light Attack, Maelstrom, or Gravwell, trigger your Detonate, Shockwave, Light Attack, Maelstrom. By the time all that's done, your det's going to go off, and between all of that, you've done a crap ton of damage, and people just die. It's really great. Keys to this, though. So I can just go ahead and do that for you. So you get your Gravwell, Shockwave, Light Attack, Maelstrom. Big key is make sure you have your Great Axe at least queued up to come out by the time your Gravwell pops, or you don't get the extra pop from Insatiable, which right now is a lot of damage. After the patch is a lot less damage, but is still meaningful damage in the long run. Detonate. So if you're going to use Detonate in it, you would do your normal Gravwell. You'd start Shock. Between those, you're going to trigger your Detonate, and it's going to, by the time it's done charging, you'll have already finished your Light Attack, your Maelstrom, and your Detonate should go off right about there. I don't remember what the charge time is off the top of my head. It is 3 seconds. So that's not too bad.
Should you start your Detonate before your Gravwell, or once you hit
I always start it after, because if your Gravwell doesn't actually hit anybody, then you're going to waste your Detonate too if you don't actually hit anyone with your Gravwell.
So if you see the clump, then start your Detonate, or as soon as you throw the
Once you see your Gravwell hit and actually grab some people, trigger your Detonate.
Gotcha.
A big key with this is don't throw your Gravwell way out there. Like, look how long it takes you to get there. That's not going to be useful for you. If you are going to do it, you want to throw it maybe no more than 3 or 4 meters from you. No more than 1 medium dodge. Ideally, you don't have to dodge at all to get into it. But if you've got to dodge once, that's not the end of the world. Any more than that is basically a waste because you're not going to be able to do your combo in time. The other big thing with this is if you're going to mix a Detonate in, it is very, very important that you call that out for a couple reasons. One, you're going to take more damage, so it's good for your healer to know that you're about to detonate. 2, it's possible that your second Bruiser or another member in your team is going to have something to help follow up on that. Either another Detonate, some binds, any number of other heart runes or skills that can go along with that to help it out. And you also always want to use this in a case where you have some sort of CC abilities, ideally during your main Bruiser combo. If you don't CC them, Ice works well, like Yowie's saying there in chat. If you don't CC them, you don't do anything, it is really easy to get out of it. Like, people can just run away, Bruisers can use Charge or Whirlwind or whatever, they'll get away from you, it won't be a big deal. The other big things for doing your bruiser combos, I need some volunteers. Maybe Gene, Wayne, Tony, Phantom, Daredevil. Make a what looks like a clump in the middle here somewhere.
Yay.
Yeah. Okay. So you don't have to do anything. Just kind of stand there. And when you're doing your bruiser combos, you throw your grub, you do your shock, you do your all maelstrom. It is a good idea to be outside of this clump, on the edge, out here. You want to be picking around the edges. You never want to be the guy in the middle. The guy in the middle is dead. The guy in the middle will always be dead. There is no saving the guy in the middle. So when you're doing these, you don't want to be that guy. That guy is just statting our death count. I am that guy sometimes. We have all been that guy. Another thing, this is particularly important if two bruisers are working well together. So, say Blue is going to do the bruiser combo on this clump here, right? First step to recovery is admitting you have a problem. Yes, that is correct. So, say Blue's doing that, right? If you are the second bruiser, one thing you can do is you can throw your path through that clump to help stagger them, make it harder for them to get out. Then they get hit, and once he's most of the way through his, you can start on yours and do the same shit. And if they're still alive after all of that, then good on their healers, but they probably won't be. And the more people you stack on top of that, obviously, the more effective it is. Let's see, some more positioning things. One thing you really want to do when you're fighting is, okay, you've got a clump here. You got your bruiser combo ready. You want to be mindful of your escape routes. For example, assume all of these people over here are the enemy team. Assume all of these people over here, by Yowie and Ditcham and all, are on your team. They'll never ideally be that far apart, but it is what it is. If you're doing your bruiser combo, you start seeing these people on the left crashing. You need to know where your escape routes are. You can go over here. You can go back over here. Like, you want to have the self-awareness to kind of understand what's happening on the battlefield around you. It's really easy, I'm guilty of this myself, to get stuck into, I'm doing fat damage on this clump, let me sit and light attack these folks all day long and just do it, and then I get crashed by 50 people and I die. Not helpful.
Duke, something you mentioned to a bunch of us the other day too is a lot of times try to look for the out that's forward, don't always go backwards.
Yeah, I was about to get to that actually.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah. The other thing is, our army as a whole has a problem, and it may be other armies have the same problem too, is we really love to go backwards towards the war camp or towards our road or whatever. That position doesn't really help us any. Ideally, you always want to be pushing forward, and if you can find space forward, like say we're pushing towards Sadie and Ray, your clump's here, we're fighting, oh, I need to get out, you charge towards up here, hey look, there's nobody up here. You've still made a forward presence, but at this point, you have a breather, you can get your cooldowns back up, you can hopefully get some pots, some heals if you need it, let your stamina come back. It's better positioning to be moving forward as often as possible rather than back. Obviously, you don't always have a choice, but that's the ideals. Plus, if you run into healers, they do get scared and run away.
Yes.
Also, I have found that if you just swing light attacks at those healers, they don't do shit. They just run away. They get scared. They take a lot of damage, especially Ray solo. He runs 5 con. I have hit him with a light attack in OPR. It doesn't take many light attacks to kill him. The other thing The other big thing when you're working in clump fights that goes along with the positioning is stamina management. You don't have as much armor as heavies. You have more than lights, but it's not enough armor to sit in the middle of a clump and take a whole bunch of hits. You need to be working dodges into your rotation. So, for example, hey, I'm running my Bruiser combo. We're going to sit and fight this. I'm going to do, a light attack, light attack, light attack, dodge, light attack, dodge, so on and so forth. Work dodges into your rotation. None of us are good enough to dodge every single attack, and we don't have enough stamina to do so. But if you work those dodges in, you'll dodge a lot of things. Remember, attacks are coming from lots of angles, lots of positions. It's impossible to deal with all of it. I personally like to treat the stamina bar. I got 100 stamina. I don't run hardy. And if you get, down to 20 stamina, I basically try and consider that 20 stamina 0 stamina. Give yourself like one more out, so to speak, before you're done. The biggest time that I find myself stamming myself out is if you get rooted. It's really hard to see sometimes, so if you're not paying full attention to that, you can sit there like an idiot and spam like 6 dodges in a row and be stuck there and not actually do anything. It's something we all need to work on, something that we all have probably done or seen before. Roots and stuns are bad. You want to dodge as many. The stuns, in my opinion, are the worst. Roots are bad, but hopefully you can survive for the 2 or 3 seconds that they're up. Stuns, it allows you to kind of comboed a little bit easier, but they're all bad. You want to avoid as many things as possible. That is the goal of a medium bruiser. That's why you get 3 dodges, and then if you got stam recovery and you're taking some damage, you get a few more. There's some perks in the Great Axe tree that give you even more. Granted, they're on cooldown. Yeah, knockdowns are the worst, I agree. Staggers are annoying as all hell. I'm sure all of us have seen that. I have queued up on my stream. Hold on, I gotta switch over to it. An example of a Bruiser combo from a war. Hold on, let me share that screen instead. Change windows. I'll give everyone like 10 seconds. Quality of the video is probably not the best, but it's the best I can do. Blame YouTube. Alright, so here's an example of a Bruiser combo. I don't have Det up, so this is just going to be a normal Grav, Shock, Maelstrom combo, and there's some other people here helping out, so you can kind of see the effectiveness of it. Alright, ready, go. And hey, look, a whole bunch of people just died. Wonderful stuff. That's kind of what you're looking for. And then the idea would be, once you've done that, get out. Here in this particular case, we don't have a lot of pressure on us, so we sit and finish off some other targets. But like, you don't want to stay in one position and get clumped. You want to blow them up. You want to declump, create another clump, blow them up, declump, so on and so forth. A good example of a path. Let me see if I can find it. Yeah, it should be right around here. So this scenario, I don't know how much of this you can see because it may not be very clear. I have 0 cooldowns. I'm at full health or near full health. I've got most of my stamina. There's a big fight happening on point. There's really not much I can do to help them right now. So this is where I'm going to just throw a path through them and, hopefully move on for there. Those are the kind of things you're looking for. Let me see if I can find another. I had another one queued up. Let me see if I can find it. Anytime you see these long lines of people, like in this frame here, all those people on point, Like,
We can't see your mouse, Michael, so say names.
okay. So if you see Mr. Darkwood over there, kind of on the far side of point, if he were a bruiser and he were to turn around and path back across the point, that would hit like 5-10 people probably. If Mitsu were to kind of turn towards Bonfire right here and path that, he's going to hit a bunch of people. You know, if you're in the back line like we are right now, you know, Slurped, Miss Farquad, you know, Farquad's a healer. Probably a very familiar name for most of us at this point. Anytime you can disrupt those people, you know, that's what Path of Destiny is for. Disruption. The stagger is really annoying for people. It'll get people killed in clumps. Right now and in the future, it's not necessarily a whole lot of damage, but it is some damage. So any damage is useful. That is all the points I wanted to go over. At least I would like to set up some duels of some sort, maybe try and get some fights going. We have mostly bruisers. I don't really want to get any healers involved. I just kind of want to sparring a little bit, trying out some combos. If you want to just get into dual pairs or something, that would be a good way to do it. It's up to y'all. Any suggestions on that would be helpful.
I think, yeah, I think dual pairs, but maybe if we have enough bruisers that know, split them off into little rooms and let them duel and have, I mean, unless everybody wants to watch it live, you could do dual pairs and have the bruisers that know commenting on it in the call so that everybody hears all the feedback. Or if y'all would prefer to do it on a smaller scale, we can do that and split off into other little calls and do the same thing. But that is where you guys have, you guys that need to learn need to speak up here.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure what people think would be most helpful. My main point in this was just sharing some information, trying to get it out there so that hopefully in the next war it's in the back of your head and we make better decisions. Some other tips I've seen a lot of people who like to use their hammer a lot in war. While, you know, the hammer is a useful weapon, your main damage is coming from your axe, and your main grouping potential is coming from your axe, and your AoE damage is coming from your axe. That's the way it is now, and it's going to be even more true after the patch, because most of the hammer skills are getting nerfed into the ground. Hey, we're not calling anyone out, Galaxies. You know, I think Phantom had a good idea. If we want to get into some 2v5s and let a couple bruisers try and do some
The combo.
the combo